We've just arrived for our next investigation, which is taking place at Baconsthorpe Castle in Norfolk. This place has got an extremely long history, and not all of it was particularly good. The original owner was an unscrupulous lawyer who was disliked by much of the community. The family later on fell into financial difficulties, resulting in its fragmentation, and there's also reason to believe a murder may have taken place on the grounds here. So with that said, come on guys, let's see what Baconsthorpe Castle has in store for us.
Baconsthorpe Castle has its roots in the 15th century, when the land was bought from the Bacon family by William Baxter, a free yeoman. Although technically a fortified manor house rather than a military castle, the initial construction was undertaken by William Baxter's son, John Hayden I, who had changed the family name to try and disguise their lower social origins. John Hayden became an extremely disliked man by many people. He was an unscrupulous lawyer who had very few morals other than his own financial gain. During the War of the Roses, he often switched sides to suit his own political needs and was described by his contemporaries as shifty, ruthless and grasping. Maybe it's because of these numerous enemies he had made that he fortified the manor in a way to defend and deter anyone who opposed him.
There have been a number of ghostly apparitions sighted around the castle over the years, and I can't help but wonder if the identity of one of them could be John Hayden himself. In life he was described as being a very self-centred, arrogant and twisted man, and he obviously cared an awful lot for his castle due to its sheer size and grandeur. Could it be, to this very day, he is still here, lurking in the shadows, watching over his beloved estate?
Although the Heydon family made their initial wealth through the legal profession, it was in the late 1400s that Sir Henry Heydon married into London money and became a very profitable sheep farmer. His son and heir John Hayden II even converting some of the castle into a wool processing factory, which proved to be very successful, selling textiles across Britain and the Netherlands, bringing in a huge amount of money. It was in the 16th century that things began to go wrong for the family. The once successful wool trade was now in decline and huge debts had amounted, mostly due to the lavish spending and poor financial management from the Heydons. William Hayden II was forced to start selling off parts of the castle's estate, much to the dislike of his son Christopher Hayden II, who fell out with his father for destroying what he regarded as his inheritance. This dividing of the family ended in a court case when William Hayden was prohibited from demolishing the castle, and all his debts, amounting to £11,000, an astronomical amount of money at the time, would be left to his son. These financial issues, however, didn't seem to faze Christopher Hayden II, as after he inherited the castle in 1593, his lavish spending and high living continued, even being fined a further £2,000 for taking part in the Essex Rebellion of 1601.
It's impossible to know the thought process or motivations of the people that lived here hundreds of years ago, however they clearly cared an awful lot for their castle. There is of course the theory that when you die, you go back and haunt places that were very special to you, and I think this place would be that for the Heydons. And could that be why they've been seen so many times here in a spectral form walking the ruins?
John Hayden III, a prominent royalist military leader during the English Civil War, had the land seized by the parliamentarians after the war, who later declared him a delinquent. He was however able to buy back the castle, but began to sell it off for its stonework, dying heavily in debt in 1653. In the 19th century the estate was finally sold, with the gatehouse being converted and lived in by a number of families throughout the 1800s, until one of the turrets collapsed in a storm in 1920. After being cleared of ivy in the 1940s, the site was opened up to the public and is today a popular place for visitors.
As well as the former residents of the castle, one of the most frequently experienced ghosts is that of an old sentry or guard. He's seen on the top levels of the castle, throwing stones into the moat, almost in a manner to pass time. He's never appeared malicious to any visitors here, and I certainly think this is potentially one of the ghosts we could encounter on our investigation tonight.
Over the last few years, a number of paranormal investigations have been performed at the castle, which may have revealed a previously unknown detail about the site's history. During EVP and spirit box sessions, the word murder has been spoken many times, and this coupled with other interactions has led investigators to believe a murder may have taken place on the castle grounds at some point in history. With the numerous enemies that the Heydons made, combined with their family quarrelling, it doesn't seem implausible that one of them may have done away with a rival at some point to better themselves. It will certainly be interesting to see if our investigations also yield any results that point towards a murder. As darkness began to fall, we switched to our night vision cameras and prepared for the investigation. We started by setting up 2 locked off cameras, one outside the inner gatehouse and one positioned inside one of the 2 remaining rooms. We also decided to try out a new piece of equipment, the REM pod, which generates an electromagnetic field around an antenna, and should anything break or disrupt that field, an alarm will sound as well as a series of lights indicating the proximity to the antenna. With everything set, we began our investigation of Baconsthorpe Castle.
Should we start with a walk around the building?
Yeah. Like each room and just give it.
Yeah.
Should we start here?
I'll tell you what we could do. I'll grab an EMF detector.
Oh yeah, get those.
Should we come back here after, and then take a walk around first?
Yeah, walk around and check the EMF and stuff, and then focus on points. Also, watch your feet for like random bits of stone that are around about.
Is there anybody in this building? Are there any members of the Heydon family here? John Hayden?
If there is somebody here, just walk towards Luke and that little box he's got in his hand, and it'll let us know that you're here.
What's it say currently?
Nothing on there at the moment.
It was 0.1.
No, this is analogue, but it's the needle's not moved at all.
Okay. Oh, trifle.
This bit.
So still in the
I don't think we've been somewhere where it's been literally this like silent and still.
Yeah, it feels like if someone was talking over there on the other side of the castle, you would be able to hear him clear as day.
You can hear anything here.
I'm thinking what would probably be here, like the most likely thing we might encounter here would be something that's residual because we had so much brickwork and stone. But it's going to be like stone tape theory sort of stuff.
But then again, it could be like I mentioned earlier, like there's a few hundred years of the same family living here. Is that, sort of their ancestry to this place? Are they coming back here if they got a choice, or is it like an imprint left by them that is still here,
just from their presence here, sort of thing? Oh, also, like something to bear in mind. I guess now we went around and had a look at that picture. So where we are now, I think would still be part of the end of this building, but where this big open section is here, that would have been the house.
Yeah.
So anything, if we see or hear anything there, it might actually be to do with something that was inside, or someone who was inside the house.
Yeah.
So we might even potentially see see apparitions or something. If we see apparitions, they could even be up in the air here, if people are on like a second floor.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah.
I think as well with the castle, there's that big doorway that's open there. If people are walking along that bit, we could even experience like anomalies and stuff from above us. It's something to bear in mind, really.
Whilst we were off exploring other areas of the castle, the locked off camera we'd left recording in one of the rooms captured what seems to be a male voice. We were able to rule out myself and James creating the voice after matching up the footage and seeing that neither of us were speaking at the time. And strangely, the camera in the main entrance, only a stone's throw away, didn't capture the voice.
If we go ahead that way, then on the left there's a turning that goes into what was another building, or it's like a small gatehouse looking thing. You see the floor of it still there. I went on a walk earlier on round that side where I made you jump.
Yeah.
It literally is just like a muddy bank that goes quite narrow and it just ends up at the front, and you can't really get back through unless you climb through the hole.
Is this a bit here?
Yeah, this is like another little gate entrance bit, like the back entrance.
Oh, there's another building here as well, isn't there?
Yeah, a really small one.
Another tower or something.
You're right.
Yeah, the ground goes up. No, down then up. I thought it was just struck flat there.
Oh yeah. It's a bit of a drop. Ooh. That light must be from a house or something. So it's weird, in the day I didn't even think there was houses that close to that direction. Whoa, let's see. Thanks.
That's pheasants.
I wonder how many people, like at the height of this place operating, how many people had actually been on site here.
I don't know. They'd have had servants and staff working, definitely.
Because it's not as if it was just like a family here and like 4 or 5 people or something. It's quite a thing to maintain.
Well, it's almost been pretty much a
Little community.
yeah.
Oh, Luke, wasn't there something you said to listen for is a guard throwing stones in the moat? I think the only thing that would really debunk that would be like fish or something.
Yeah, or
surfacing.
even stonework falling.
Possibly, but then it would have to fall. I mean, if it's near the tower, then maybe. You can give it a go.
Yeah, why not? Is there a guard at this castle that throws stones into the moat? A lot of people say they've heard you throwing stones. Is that something you do just to sort of pass the time?
It's so quiet. I can't even hear animals now.
Yeah.
That was me.
That was me.
Jesus, don't go in the river. What was it? There was a...
Here?
Yeah, that was it.
Hold a torch. How did you even... Wait, what?
Clamber up, I suppose.
Yeah. I remember it wasn't too tricky when I did it because I was like trying to be quiet at the same time. Just
Make me
see
jump
if...
again.
Yeah. Well, see if Luke was right outside it and make him jump. But... It's going on the crawling into holes compilation.
Yeah.
Can I have the torch?
Is there a drop the other side?
A little one, not too bad.
How do I get my other leg?
Kick her in.
Bravo.
Well done. Yeah, it's easy to put the camera down. I think I put the camera on the ledge. Contestant number 2. Bring on the hole.
So you made that look like it was easy.
Easy peasy.
I quite hope that you can't do it.
Oh, that can go on the Holes edition. See, why did I struggle so much?
Because you went sideways.
Yeah, because I thought it was going to be a big drop.
No, well, you think the ground's lowered out there.
Yeah.
After exploring the perimeter of the castle without witnessing any strange events, we returned to the gatehouse to investigate one of the 2 ground floor rooms.
I think what's through here, I'll go down.
Yeah.
Close the door.
Yeah, like I said.
You just slide it close.
We're spending 24 hours locked down.
Spent the last 2 years locked down.
Good point.
Is there anyone that lives at this castle, in this room or in this building? Can you come to the ground floor, please?
Unknown to us, at this exact moment the camera recording in the room opposite us captured this loud snapping sound. We were never able to work out what could have caused this sound. To us, it either sounds like something falling or knocking very close to the camera's microphone. We have, however, on a number of other investigations, both heard and recorded what seems to be some kind of static burst, which sounds like a snapping sound, and previous instances of this does seem to resemble the click that we just recorded here.
Oh. Oh.
Can you whisper again?
What was that?
It sounded like a whisper, and also there was like a clicking sound that was really quite clear.
No.
Almost, literally, what?
Just heard it behind my head.
Could we have just recorded another example of these seemingly unexplained static charges?
I heard just like weird, distant wailing noises, but could be anything. It's too far away.
Yeah.
To tell. It just seemed that's like the first thing I've actually heard really since it's been quiet.
Yeah.
My name's Sophie. This is James, and this is Luke. We don't mean you any harm. We just want to try and communicate with you. Perhaps, you could just make a noise for us. Knock on the stones or knock on the door.
Chuck a stone in the moat.
Yeah. Just anything to let us know that you're here.
I don't know if it's too short a time span to know, but does it actually feel much different walking out there now?
Did when I first walked out, because it's like, I don't know who,
Yeah.
what's going to be out here, but... And we've been here long enough now for it to settle down and
Yeah.
get used to it all.
Well, according to here, we've been just come up for 41 minutes.
Yeah. Well, 25 since we walked back.
Right.
Done the walk round. There's anyone in this room? We've placed some devices down on the stairs there. If at any point while we're here during the night, you could maybe move around those, touch them, try and knock them over, they will set off an alarm. It will let us know you're here with us. Also got this device which I'm going to place down. This will pump out some energy. If you need to take that energy, then feel free to use it.
Trying to think of
Drain that device there.
see if we can get anything into it. I think we've done like the stone, throw that in there. Definitely feels like there's like little bits and pieces waking up, possibly. It might just be a case of still finding where's the main area. You right?
Yeah, I'm just...
Oh, I thought you stopped and turned
No,
around.
no, I was having a look about.
the name of the people?
The Hayden family.
Is it Ian or Owen?
Ian, I think. I've got a paper in my pocket. I think, in fact, I've pretty sure I've actually listed
Names?
the names of them all.
Yeah, so it's worth maybe just read the name. I'll close this door again so we are like sealed.
Yeah. So William Baxter, John Hayden, Henry Heydon, Christopher Heydon, William Hayden, Christopher Heydon, and John Hayden III. Did I read out your name?
Some sounds were so quiet to work out what they were. Like shuffling noises.
With nothing unusual being experienced, we decided to leave the castle grounds and take a short break, at which point both of our locked off cameras picked up yet another unexplained sound. Shortly after this, the autofocus on the interior camera began to trigger. Strangely, this was the only instance of this happening all night, and as far as we can see, the only way this could occur is if something moved in front of the camera, or there was a drastic change in lighting, neither of which appeared to have happened at the time. Upon returning to the castle, we continued to investigate for a while longer, but neither we nor our locked off cameras recorded any more activity. Unfortunately, apart from a few unexplained sounds captured on our interior camera, our time at Baconsthorpe Castle was very quiet. However, if we do decide to return in the future, the room where these sounds were recorded would certainly be a point of interest to investigate further.